those submissions, we're looking for those gems where it's like, oh, clever idea. Oh, never thought about that. I wouldn't play this, but you know what? I think a lot of other people might. Let's put it in. Oh, here's a cool home rule that I won't play, but I can see a lot of other people loving it. So, and then of course adventures, and it's a great little resource.
Side note for Heathen Dog here before I get into the next question. Have you seen all the hate that I've been getting for those alignment videos? Dude, no, I had a couple people write some very long paragraphs. So for Kevin and Sean, we covered Palladium alignments because I don't like alignments. I think they're stupid. I just generally speaking, I think they're stupid. However, if I'm going to use alignments, I think Palladium, and we've said this for years, has the best alignment system ever. I think we even said it when you're on here before. So Heathen Dog did a video talking about, hey, how do you play a good character in a mixed alignment group? How do you play an evil character in a mixed alignment group? Yada, yada. People didn't like my hot take, and I won't get into it here, but I got people writing a lot of vitriol towards me because I was like, it doesn't make sense in the world for an evil character, the anti-paladin, so to speak, to group with the paladin. It makes no sense. It's a stupid trope. Nobody should do it. Somebody wrote it in a book one time. Oh, yay. But people are always trying to counter me on this. And man, they're not even being nice about it. Like, I
remember that now. Yeah, there's like, oh God, I was in the military, and
you read that one?
Yeah. The captains hated the sergeants, but we all got the mission done, but we all couldn't stand each other. And I'm like,
that has nothing to do with alignment.
Does nothing to do with alignment. That's your job, man. You want to get paid, or you want to go to jail? You want to go to Leavenworth and make big rocks into little rocks for a living now? You can do that, but you follow orders. That's what you do. If you're in a military type, structure.
So you say it has nothing to do with hierarchy. I'm like, the entire thing's a military.
The entire thing's hierarchy, man. That's how it is. The guy above you could hate his guts, but if you don't say yes, sir, fast enough, then you're in trouble.
That's my definition of living hell, Leavenworth. It's like basic training mixed with prison. The worst aspects of both at the same time.
Yep.
So that was interesting. I just want to see. So you did, that was the one. There were a couple others in there that were pretty, we'll just say angry with me. Lots of timestamps. But with that said, the reason I bring that up is because we've got a question here. The Palladium Experience rewards and alignments are truly the best out there. But can you explain a little why the experience rewards seem to incentivize playing the good alignments? The juiciest rewards are reserved for altruistic acts like saving many people from death, endangering one's own life to help others, and self-sacrifice. And before you answer, I've got the answer. Because don't need anything else. Play the good guys. Wow. What's wrong with you? All right.
I mean, I have a little small thing. I'm sure you've probably got a treatise you want to give out, but
we got time.
Machine gunning down little bad guys is a lot harder than saving somebody in that altruistic moment. It's as a role play thing, right? In a game, that's being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes that's hard, even if you're just doing it for the number of experience points you can get. But anyways,
so when I started doing role playing games, they were also often called heroic adventure. And heroes tend to be, good guys. And, same thing, my background's comic books and mythology, and, the guys you really root for are the good guys. And we want to encourage good behavior, smart behavior, teamwork. Bad guys tend not to give a shit about any of that. Now, as a game master, I play bad guys all the time, and they're lots of fun. But as players, I don't want to advocate you go into a village and you loot it and you rape the women and steal the cattle. So the rest of the village that you leave behind, the villagers you leave behind, are going to starve in the winter. That's not really fun or cool. I don't want to advocate that kind of selfish shit. Ironically, I actually had spent, this is in the early 90s, I had this idea to write basically a gangster role-playing game. You were playing the gangster and you'd be all these bad guys. And after a while, it just got really brutal and ugly and depressing. And I'm like, why am I wasting my time on this garbage? They make good villains for a reason, but villains are not what we're working on. We're playing heroes and adventurers, and the focus is good guys.
Do you think that a lot of games have somehow intentionally gotten away from that. I don't want to call it moral relativism because that gets into weird areas that become uncomfortable to talk about. But I like Forbidden Lands. I love Forbidden Lands as a game, but it's touted as you're not heroes. You're just trying to survive. Now, the reason why I love it is because it does have survival mechanics in it. It isn't like just a tagline to allow you to go out and be a jerk. No, you actually have to make tough decisions sometimes. But I'm seeing more and more games. I mean, what's this one? It's covered now, but it says like of mischief, adventures of mischief and mayhem. And I think that there is something to what you said in terms of like, I don't think that every group should always be heroes. There's nothing wrong with having the evil campaign. There's nothing wrong with having, a little fun, playing the Raceland type characters or the Storm, Elric type characters and so forth. But ultimately, the main theme of the game should be heroism. I mean, that's what most of our movies are about. That's what most of our television shows are about. Stories, books, whatever, going all the way back to mythology. Yep. So what are your thoughts?
I was going to say just something I was thinking about this. I mean, that just demonstrates a character's humanity. And I mean, I fail to think of something right now, but I mean, there are actually plenty of villains that they are humanized in comics or movies when they do something altruistic for one of their allies, right? So just because you have a reward there doesn't mean that the players couldn't be a-holes that are out there just completing a contract because they get the money. But when one guy dives in front of the bullet for the other one, that's still just good storytelling and characterization. So,
and 200 experience points.
Not to undermine what Kevin was saying or why he designed it that way, but even if you're playing anti-heroes, like I think Riddick is a great example, right? Mm-hmm. Chronicles of Riddick. Yep. So you've got this anti-hero, but he's like, dang it, I gotta do something about this, right?
Yeah, at worst, in my game system, he's either anarchist or aberrant. Aberrant is evil with a code of honor. He has a certain code of honor. He's got certain lines he's not going to cross.
Right.
That was my example in my how to play MaxLiao group. If you're evil, play aberrant.
Yeah, they call it the cop-out alignment because it's the easy one to play where you can do whatever you want, but you still kind of have a code.
But you can still walk within the lines of the group, but still have your own way, but not go so far out as the group is pissed at you. It's the easy evil.
Yeah.
Well, I've had players also play miscreant, which is selfish evil. But they don't last after a while because inevitably they're going to cross a team member.
Diabolical and miscreant are hard long term. They are hard long term.
Absolutely.
That's why.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
I said don't.
I mean, come on, right now, if one of us screwed the other, you're not going to say, well, that's just who he is. You're going to say, God damn.
Right.
I mean, people who are like that
I
in
don't
real
want to
life.
associate with that guy, or I want to punch the shit out of him, or whatever.
Yeah, at best case scenario for you is you get to beat the shit out of that guy and never see him again. Worst case, you get to walk away and never see him again. Either way, that diabolical evil bastard is out of the group. He's out of the group.
Well, they in real life they're quickly shunned from society because of the repercussions. Remember we talked about. Repercussions for actions for players. Same thing happens in real life, man. If someone's really truly like the definition of diabolical or miscreant, they have to hide it to function and be able to mingle in society.
And
that's
their
the danger.
goal.
They're the wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
Their goal is to amass enough power
to move on, right? Like con men, they got to move on to the next town because they burned all their bridges and everybody knows they are, and the law's after them, and if the scent gets picked up, they're dead men, right? So
they have to learn to amass enough power to become a warlord so they can be their real selves.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well, it's like I was saying to those people who are arguing with me. It's like just because somebody's a jerk or you don't like them or even has a different worldview doesn't make that person evil. And of course, they didn't agree with that. But I mean, like where I work, on one hand, I have a truly hardcore Baptist lives as he, I would put him in the principled alignment because he practices what he preaches and so forth. But he's got a worldview. On the other hand, there's a girl who checks all those other boxes. And I don't think she's evil. I don't think he's evil, even though putting them together is like matter and antimatter, but neither of them are evil because neither of them want to hurt other people. No, none of them, if we go down those 14 points there, will openly try to steal from somebody else. None of them will, try to shoot somebody, yada, yada. There is really a definition that you put in those alignments that states this is what evil is. If given the opportunity, nobody's looking. I don't believe either one of them would randomly shoot, or I wouldn't even say randomly, would shoot somebody.
Sure.
They're not.
Murder.
It's just right. It's just a different worldview. And what these people are arguing with, you've never had to work with an asshole before, have you? Asshole doesn't mean evil. I worked with a lot of good people that are assholes. So, myself. I mean, what?
What? Okay, fine. You know what? Whatever. I'm going to turn into the skid. I was going to let this one go, but I'm not going to do it now. Here we go. Nerdy Yoga with a super hot take on this one. One thing I tell people when they go on their CS are the good guys rant, you can't protect humanity by sacrificing your humanity. Bullshit. Here's your problem, Nerdy Yoga. Here's your main problem, and it's mental. You have a stumbling block on this one thing. If you define humanity as a set of moral codes, you're a fool. If you define humanity by all humans put together, then you're on the right track. That's exactly why the CS are the good guys. They're protecting humanity, not some moral code that can vary between region and region. No. If you're human, you are part of the collective called humanity. If you're not, you're dead.
Well, and humanity and humanist are not the same thing either. Right?
Exactly. No, it is not a way of life. It is not a moral code. It is either you are human or you are not. If you are
He's
not,
humanist.
you are not I'm a humanist. If you are human, you are part of humanity and therefore deserve to be protected. If you are not, then why
can
are
you
we
put Heathen Dog as the new emperor of Empire of Humanity?
I'm just gonna get
the new head of propaganda.
Transcribe this. We can put it in the next world book. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, there you go.
I'm going to skip a couple questions here because we're hitting like the 3-hour mark. So,
we're going to end this.
But there are a couple here that I think would be interesting just to hear you guys talk about. One of them was, quotes, unleash your imagination. And the other quote, you're limited only by your imagination. Define the very spirit of Palladium. What do these statements mean to each of you, though? When you hear them or when you write them or when you acknowledge them, what do they mean to you?
I mean, to me, pretty much what they say is what they mean. I mean, I always joke around and say I suffer from an overactive imagination. Everything gives me ideas. I love stories of every kind since I was little. I've loved movies and cartoons and anime and comic books and novels and live theater, and I just love stories. And I love using your imagination to solve problems and to create new stories and to create heroes. And I just, and you really are limited by your imagination. I've got a bumper sticker taped to my door that is a quote from Einstein that says, imagination is more important than knowledge. Because imagination applies to everything, not just great stories. I mean, that's how I apply it. That's how we apply it in telling these awesome stories and making fun, exciting games and worlds and adventure. But imagination is the source of everything, every scientific plan, every idea, every machine that's ever been built with someone saying, hey, these round stones roll. What if we drilled a hole in there and, how can we do that? Oh, we'll create some kind of axis, and then we got a wheelbarrow, and then that went on to all these other things. It's imagination, and I just love to get people thinking and using their imagination. I get so pumped up when I meet people like, Russ and Marshall Thurber, the well-known writer director. When he told me, it was playing your games that made me realize I want to be a storyteller. And I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
He didn't react the same way when I told him the same thing.
No. You want to be a storyteller? Get Check.
Oh, like, who the fuck are you? Get out of here.
Writers are losers.
Yeah.
You saw it here first. The rift is forming between them.
The rift is forming. That's right. No, hang on. I'm gonna add on to that sentiment about imagination. Imagination is the most important thing when you have no knowledge to stand on. But imagination standing on top of knowledge is what reaches new heights. That's every scientific achievement that's ever been, except the first one, was done because the new stood upon the knowledge of the old to create something bigger.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys do all the research, those hundreds of
Yes,
books you're talking about.
to say
you
that.
are standing on top of knowledge.
Yep.
But to reach higher, imagination is required.
I
get it.
I think it's a really fascinating point. You know, if you think about a lot of people, I have a friend like this. He's a great guy, but you know, science is his religion. But the thing is science is always evolving and growing. Our understanding is always growing. If you are a scientist and you don't have an imagination, you can't think outside of what you already know is the known block of knowledge, you would never be able to be a good scientist. You couldn't make any advances or discoveries, right? I mean, 100 years ago, we look at those guys and we're like, wow, what schmoes. They believed X, Y, Z, right? 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. But look at what do you think they're going to be like in 100 years from now?
Yeah.
They're going to look back and be like, wow, what schmoes. I can't believe they believed this.
Science is not a thing.
Happened in their society, right? Yeah.
Science is a method.
Yes.
Science is a process.
That's why I hated that trust the science. People still say trust the science. There's no the science.
Trust the process.
Yes.
The process of hypothesis, testing, and theory. You keep doing it till you keep throwing shit at the wall till something sticks. That thing is objectively true.
Right.
And then you move on. You now have new knowledge.
Right. And Einstein had to have been super open-minded to conceive of a completely revolutionary paradigm, right?
But to do that, he also had to absorb everything that had written before to realize it was not all that was there.
Or what needed to be tested.
Exactly. What needed to be taken away or added on to make it more realistic, to make it more reality.
And Sean mentioned thinking outside the box, but there's also, it's very undermined, thinking inside the box when you have a challenge and it's like, well, we need to do this. How do we make it fit within and work within these parameters, this budget, our capabilities? And again, you have to use your imagination to figure this stuff out. And build on.
Titan Robotics was a tight walk.
Right.
On that level, because it's like, well, how do we keep things themed to what's been happening with Archie and Hagon over these, over 384 pages or whatever.
Yeah. And how does it grow from what was already written? Exactly. Thinking outside the box is a fun thing people like to say, but if you don't understand the box, you're just thinking bullshit.
Well, that goes back to what I like to say is like, it's not that I disagree with what you guys are saying, but I think imagination can be a bad thing. To me, it's not about, because people say, well, if it's possible, well, all things are possible in somebody's imagination. I'm more concerned about what's plausible and what's probable. Imagination can help, but at some point, imagination becomes clown shoes.
It does. You have to know what's, which direction to go in your imagination. And the only way to do that is with knowledge. You have to have a knowledge.
Right. And that's what I was going to say is when you have the knowledge, or in the case of a game, when you have a source book, i.e. a setting. It's one of the reasons why I say setting first, game second, players third. Gygax had a different order for that, but that setting defines all the rest of it. That puts that knowledge for you. Now, from within that box, the other thing that I say is like a coloring book. I don't care if you stipple, crosshatch, markers, pencils, black. I don't care how you do it. Stay within the lines.
That's what
all I'm asking. You do it however you want. Stay. What's that?
That's what the lines are for.
Yeah, that's what the lines
if you don't want to draw a butterfly, little girl, then start with a blank page. Don't mess up someone's art. With your level, I'm gonna turn the butterfly into a dragon. Just draw a dragon, Stacy.
You can use mud. You can use blood from your fingertip. I don't care. But
you gotta be specific. Shut up.
An open mind, an open mind is like a fortress with its gate open and unguarded. Anyways, no, the other thing I think I want to say along with that is we went and saw the Sound of Freedom, and it was one of the things they said at the end of the movie is this: there's no one more powerful than the storyteller, and that doesn't just mean us; it means everybody. Because when role playing, that's a cooperative story you're telling with the game master, the players. It's really powerful stuff, and just keep that in mind, and don't let yourself be limited. And along with that, there's a lot of. I mean, when I went back to school after the Air Force, I went to the University of Texas in Dallas, where they have the arts and technology program that I went through schooling in, and then also they have all this cognitive research and a lot of therapy, behavioral therapies and stuff that are being researched. And that's the other thing that's amazing about role playing is stepping outside yourself, putting yourself in that role, playing that role playing. I mean, that's a great way to experience a totally different reality. And that can be therapeutic, and it can help you relax and bring joy and create unforgettable experiences. So
nope. Ixnay on the therapy thing. Nope. No, too many mental midgets out there are using role playing nowadays as their therapy session, and they can all suck a dick.
Well, no. When they use it therapeutically, it's with therapists.
Yeah, no. They expect me to be their $300.
There is a train of thought out there, and one of the things
we'll talk just even begin with.
I wouldn't ever come to you for that, heathen dog. Don't worry.
No, you wouldn't. Because number one, you know the audience, and number two, it's not my damn job to be your therapist. It's not.
No, and I'm not suggesting.
Get your therapy out of my game.
Role playing has been used in therapy for long before Gygax wrote the first, tabletop role playing game, whatever.
Tell me where show me on the doll where he touched you. Okay,
What we say here is that role-playing games can be therapeutic. I can tell you that there's some catharsis in playing a role-playing game when I was growing up with my family environment and so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong. But I never looked at my dungeon master or game master and said, that's my therapist, or even expected that person to care about anything that was going on in my life.
That's an unfair assumption or expectation or burden.
But that is out there now, and there are books written on that topic saying that game masters and dungeon masters need to be more aware of these psychological yada yadas.
I don't. Check yourself into a loony bin, okay? I'm not. Are you paying me $200 an hour? No. F off. Get out. Hit.
Obviously, you have your opinions on that.
So,
heathen dog,
tell us how you really feel, heathen dog.
With mental disorders.
Don't hold back,
I don't respect people with mental disorders. No.
So I have two more questions, and then I just want to let everybody know out there, just in case they want to get over the edge, we have one giveaway so far. I think $20 more will get us a second giveaway. But then we'll do that. Then we'll wrap up. But I do want to make sure that Kevin and Sean, if there are any final thoughts that they want, I know we did longer conversations before, but these guys are really busy right now. And as much as I love talking with them, I think things are getting weird. They can stay as long as they want, but I want to knock these three things out, and then we'll figure it out from there. And obviously, I'd like to talk to you guys for 5 minutes or so after the fact as well.
Yeah.
So, Sean, by the way, if I didn't ask your question, I apologize, but I can't ask literally all of them. You know how to contact them through the website. So this one's for Sean specifically.
Sure.
Are you also a fan of comics like Kevin? And is there a comic that really stood out and captured your imagination?
Well, I'm not as big a fan of comics as Kevin. I mean, he's a pretty big comic fan. But the funny thing is he's kind of dragged me back into it. I do go to the comic book shop with him a lot now. And the comic that I was really, really big into as a kid was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I ran into them, as a kid with the cartoon was my first contact. And then
when you saw the real show, were you disappointed that it wasn't like the cartoon, or happier for it?
What's that? You mean the movie?
Well, you said the cartoon, right? The TV show?
Yeah. I saw the cartoon. Then I encountered the graphic novel.
Yeah. So the graphic, I mean, those are not the same thing.
They're not the same. Yeah. I mean, it's the same characters. But
I only say that because I got really irked with the TMNT game. The picture you got in the back of your wall there. because people would think that it was like the cartoon. I'm like, no.
But that's what killed the game. Is it got kind of kidified, in my term, and our sales just went down.
No one
the
respected
tubes
it
because they didn't. The mass audience didn't recognize the original Turtles.
Now, my experience was the opposite because I got into the graphic novels. My uncle Mark gave me some of the graphic novels, and I was like, "This is so cool!" And so I think I traded away some BattleTech stuff for the. I don't remember what I traded away. It was something really. Or no, I traded some of the graphic novels for the RPG. That's what I think it was. But anyways, that's how I was a poor kid. I just traded stuff to get what I wanted. But yeah, I mean, that for me, that was I got into Spawn for a little while.
Okay.
I liked Iron Man and Captain America, but I wasn't one of those people that like collected all their comics or Thor. I had a few of those comics sitting around somewhere.
Loved Last Ronin.
I loved Last Ronin. So really, I would say that if there's a comic, it's really the Turtles that I'm really, really into. They always just kind of struck my fancy, and they have that kind of, I don't know, there's so much playful vibe with all the different characters and stuff. I really enjoyed that kind of ensemble storytelling, I guess, which fits with being a role player, I guess. But yeah, I'm not as big. I do have a lot of respect for comic book artists though, and writers.
Okay.
So yeah.
What about Hunger and Dusk?
Hunger and Dusk is pretty cool. Kevin got the first issue of that and showed it to me, and I'm if you want to go check out a cool new comic, Hunger and Dusk is pretty cool. But I really like The Last Ronin. I like what IDW in general has done with Kevin Eastman with rebooting the Turtles with IDW.
With the exception of this, I have not looked at any of the new Turtles stuff with Eastman Laird being back, but I probably should.
It's not back. It's just Eastman.
Oh, is it just Eastman?
Well, The Last Ronin. I meant the IDW reboot. I don't mean The Last Ronin.
Okay, so that is just Eastman.
Well, the Last Ronin is Eastman
Both.
and Laird.
Yeah,
right.
But Eastman basically executed recently, right?
And Kevin Eastman is the guy who's most active with the current comic books and doing covers and offering story ideas and plots and things.
Yeah, I just don't think that Laird was involved with the IDW Ninja Turtles reboot that they did a few years ago. Just to be clear.
Okay. And then for Kevin, man, there are a ton of questions for you. I'm narrowing it down to one. Because I think this one's very interesting and says a lot about Palladium Books as well. So you have some in-game groups, locations, and so forth, named for real people that influence Palladium Books. Like the city of Wuchek, clan, I can't say the name, Mark Innocen.
Yeah,
I said that right?
Yeah.
Do you have anything in the works for Mr. Rosenstein?
Well, if it's going to be a surprise to him, I can't say.
All in.
Not Robertson, Rosenstein. Julius.
Oh, Julius Rosenstein.
Yes, Julius, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's got to be something. Absolutely. It's got to be in fantasy, too. It's... Yeah.
So sometime in the future, people can expect that. And I mean that. I think that says a lot for you as a creator, as a friend, as a business partner, as a professional, all of the above, that you honor the people in a way that I would guess they would want to be honored, considering they've worked for you for this many years. They put their blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff. So to be put into one, I know Heathen Dog and I have a story, and I'm not trying to make light of this at all, where we had the opportunity to be put into a book, except for I ruined it by letting him know that I was on the playtest team. So you remember the Earth Dawn?
I do.
Yeah. So
and you are already immortalized in a video game as a dirty elf. Remember?
Oh yeah. Well, that game's only gonna last for so long. So yeah.
Well, it is. It's cool. It's a nice thing to do. When we were doing Robotech, Richard Burke was the guy who really turned me on to Robotech, and so I made him a character in like one of the first source books. And then the guys who were writing the novels took him and carried that character on. He was just like thrilled out of his mind. And it was like, how cool.
How many different mediums can I be in a different universe? This is awesome. If there's a movie, What? DiCaprio's playing Burke, bitch. That's how it works.
But if you want to toss out a couple other quickies.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, questions? Okay, that's good because I just put a note out for everybody. If you want to be in the giveaway, post a comment, an emoji now. I'm going to start yanking names and getting you guys into the giveaway. Let's see, for Kevin, let's see, what do we got here? Have there been any histories or summaries of your Defilers campaign published?
No. But I would like to. The problem is, time. I've also had people ask me to write a history of Palladium, and again, time.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's see. If you could visit any realm in any of your games, and of course, return safe and sound, where would you choose to visit and why? And what would you steal? what would you come home with? I'm taking this souvenir.
Man, that's a tough one.
Because you said survive, right? So that eliminates some of them right there.
Man, that's a tough one. It's like sort of like asking, who's your favorite kid?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man, that's fantasy seemed like the top thing that came into my head, but there are places in Rifts and there's places in Heroes Unlimited, and there's just lots of places. I can't really answer that one.
Well, I'll help you out. I'll answer for you. Heroes Unlimited. There it is. Rifts is too dangerous. Palladium Fantasy, we are as a society too soft to actually survive in a fantasy medieval environment. And Rifts is just murder. It just murder us in the first 24 hours. If you survived, it would be it would be beautiful. But Heroes Unlimited, you have the best chance of surviving it. And what you would bring back would be that super solar generator technology. That crap was awesome. That was awesome. That's great. Oh man, I'd make bank coming back with that thing. That'd be great. Elon Musk, suck it. He's my shoe boy.
All right, sorry, I'm cycling out some names here. People, I got a bunch of comments saying they'd love to see you run a game. I know Sean's run games using the Savage Rifts rules. Is there ever a chance of somebody catching you run a game, even if it's instead of online, like just videotaped, in person, seeing you run a game?
I mean, maybe we actually taped a few, but the tapes were bad. So
yeah, didn't like how they turned out, huh?
Yeah. Well, the sound was like terrible, and it's like we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Yeah, fair.
All right, let me get to the bottom of this. And I hate this aspect because either that I have to do it this way, otherwise we're gonna have member 6 month being getting there we go. All right, so we're giving out 2 $25 gift cards from Palladium Books store. Here's the deal. Oh, you know what? I see 2 new names on here. You got in just under the gun. I'm going to copy this one more time. Here's the deal. You have to be able to send me your email address. So you're either on my Discord or some other way you are able to verify you are you. If your Discord name and your YouTube name don't match, you're going to have to, again, find a way of verifying you are you.
Yeah.
So let me get the rest of these out of here.
Pinky fingers or 5 pints of blood will be required.
Yeah, your genetic marker from was it 23andMe? And I have duplicate names removed, so just because you see somebody's name in here twice doesn't mean that person can win twice. God, the delete button has stopped working. And boom, boom.
Yeah, for the whole Heroes Unlimited thing, I was gonna say, bringing back a micro fusion generators would be awesome. No, people just turn that into a bomb. They just turn that into a bomb. No, I'm not going to be the grandfather of the fusion bomb. Heathen Dog started World War III because he invented the fusion bomb. No, I invented fusion.
I don't know. For somebody who loves his fusion blocks.
Hey, fusion. If someone else already made the bomb, I'm not going to I'm not going to use that. No, it's useful. It's a useful thing. I didn't make it. I'm just using it.
Uh-huh.
Shut up. But that super solar generator thing where it works whenever the sun's out, no matter what, and then for like 4 or 6 hours after the sun goes down, it still works. Man, I want that. I could sell the shit out of that. I really could.
Good.
All right, here we go. And let me put this on the screen for everybody so you can see that I'm not lying much. At least not this time.
Right now.
Yeah. Okay, so names are in the list. If your name didn't make it, I copy and paste that thing like 6 times. So if your name did not make it to the list, you were really slow. So Wheel of Names is down here. Those are the people who have the opportunity to win, which isn't nearly as many people as we have watching, but hey, that it is what it is. And it should pick 2 of them because we have 2 winners, right? Wheel setting, remove selected name after. If not, I'll just run it twice. So here we go. Boop. And the first person to win, Flady.
Oh, Flady won. Hey,
Flady won. And Flady knows how to get a hold of me, and I know how to verify it's Flady. So that's an easy one. Did I get a second name? I did not get a second name.
Not.
Okay, that's fine. I thought it was going to do 2 at one time, but we'll just click the pick new name button. And, okay, I guess.
His name was removed. I can tell.
Yeah. Wow. Legion of, okay, I don't get to, I won! Apparently I missed one of those. I missed one of those when I took it out. Okay, hold on. Here.
Damn it. Come on, man.
And 6 Nation, 31 Kings. There we go.
Oh, yeah. 6 Nations. Congratulations. Wow, I didn't mean that to happen, but it did.
Lady. So you both, I need your email addresses. So don't post it publicly, please. But I'll send you. What I will do is I will order the gift certificate and then send you the email through the Palladium store site. And I'll also send the instructions because apparently it can be confusing or something to get those things. So I'll send the instructions as well. They're right there. But congratulations to you two. Hopefully we see 100 people typing hacks in there.
Actually, no. It's surprisingly very simple.
Kind of internet weirdos are you? Can't even type in hacks or rigged. Right? so
just nerdy ogre.
Just well, he knows.
It was just fix.
Fix. Okay.
Like and that could be like Max. You're just inept. Stop it.
It could be.
Which is true. Okay.
All true. Baldahar's over there giving you crap on Twitch. But so Kevin, Sean, as always, really appreciate you guys being here. If there's anything that you want to finalize here, I mean, I'm not kicking you off the show right now, but I want to personally thank you for being here. I'm glad we could make it happen this time. I absolutely think that this Titan Robotics stuff is freaking amazing. And I'll be saying that next week, even when you're not on the show, because I really do like how it's put together, how it's presented, how the package, like everything other than the UPS driver kicking it.
And we put it in 2 boxes. So
in 2 boxes. That was awesome. The extra 90 cents for that cardboard. I'm glad my Kickstarter backer went to something. No, but I really do. I appreciate what.
Burn.
Hey man, they can take it. They're good. It wasn't even a good joke. But
joke. I liked it.
But no, I think that's good stuff. Look forward to hearing about your exploits at GenCon. The week after, if you want to come back, tell us what happened at GenCon. I mean, you can sleep through the stream. It's okay. But no, we really do. I can't talk. We really do appreciate you guys being here, and I can't wait to have you guys on again. So hurry up with another Kickstarter, or just tell me you want to come back. I don't care if you say like, "Hey, we want to shill something." Come on in.
All right.
You're not Manscaped, but it'll do.
And the reason is I say this because I don't say this a lot about people, but talking with Kevin and Sean is like talking with Heath and Dog or a lot of you other gamer nerds out there. They're gamer nerds first. It's not like talking to a politician or a businessman or somebody who's like, I got to sit here and do my thing. No, we talk like gamer nerds, and I absolutely makes the conversation a lot easier. So I don't have to be like, okay, question number 3 is. In fact, I feel weird when I'm asking the questions because I have a list of questions to do because it's not conversational anymore, and these guys are great at the conversation side of it. So, but
sad but true, we are gaming nerds.
Yeah, there it is.
Back in the 80s, I would have been like, no, don't say that, man. Now it's like people are like wearing it like, look at me, I'm a gamer nerd. It's like, no, you're not. You didn't go through the satanic panic, and you didn't deal with being shoved in lockers.
Or hung up on a flagpole.
Shut up. Hung up on a flagpole. That happened.
It happened to him, yeah.
Yep.
I'm not saying he went all the way up. I
went pretty high up, and my belt loop broke.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we are pretty swamped with getting ready for GenCon, so we will have to
and prepare. There's we got, I think, all the Titan Robotics except for a couple of packages are out.
All the packages are out except for actually a couple of your guys.
Yeah, like my parents are waiting for theirs.
Yeah.
So we throw in a node, and there's a few of the ones that we pulled aside, and we're like, let's give them an extra node or an extra deck of cards or art prints or something. But
other than those like 5, they're all gone. Our out of country backers.
It's on the way.
It's out. It's been sent to
Spiral Galaxy.
The shipping.
Ireland, Australia,
Kathmandu,
wherever the hell you live, it's on its way.
A few weeks before it's actually shipped out to them in the post, but it's coming and it's worth the wait.
And you got way cheaper shipping up than otherwise, right? So
way cheaper.
A little bit of a wait, but
some of those countries still use mules, so it's cheaper.
Ethan Dog, any final words? Any words of wisdom you want to give the folks out here before I hit the outro?
I just want to say thanks to everyone for their support. I know that it was, a new guy along for the ride, a new thing for a lot of our fans to be jumping in and backing us on Kickstarter. But that was really important for a lot of reasons to me and to Kevin. And it was I had done them with the Pinnacle folks, but it was different doing it all and figuring out how we do all of that for Palladium, and for our unique audience. But it's been a really amazing experience to be able to interact with the fans, give them the updates, deliver the stuff. We're really proud of the products, and we're just really stoked about everything. So we appreciate everyone's support, and it really helps us run the strongest business we can, so that we can keep Palladium going, right? So again, we appreciate everyone's support. If you haven't gotten Titan Robotics yet, if you haven't gotten Yin Sloth Jungles Revised and Expanded, you can get them now. We'll have Cyberworks collection up soon after we get back from GenCon. We'd love to see you guys at GenCon. I love
if you're going to be there, please swing by.
Do not hesitate to ask us to sign things.
Make sure you tell them Legion of Myth sent you. I want a whole long line of people that just say Legion of Myth, Legion of Myth, Legion of Myth, Legion of Myth.
That would be cool.
Make them feel like they have to come back.
We're going to be like, no, sorry, can't come on your show. Apparently no one gives a crap about you guys. No.
Yeah. You just set us up for failure, douchebag.
That's okay. You know what? Hard times make strong men. That's what I'm going with.
But the other thing is there's some stuff that we can't quite announce yet that we're super stoked about. Oh my gosh. And so there's other things where we're saying, we got a solution for that. Well, as you've seen a lot of these things happen, and again, it's like swimming through molasses sometimes. Sometimes it's just sheer force of will for me and Kevin and the rest of the crew here supporting us to make things happen. But we are. And I think that this is the beginning of
we're going to be blowing minds
the next 5-10 years of dominance for Palladium. But we'll definitely let you guys know when we're ready to make some of those announcements. Some of them are going to sound mundane, but they're super important. Other ones you'll be like, whoa! So,
well, if it's this show, we're going to be like, mundane, that's great. The super one's like, whatever.
Well,
Yeah, and then we're like, oh my God, it's mind blowing. Nah, I saw it coming a mile away.
We figured that was coming, Sean. Come on, be honest. So,
in fact, when we make the big announcement, we're not going to tell you ahead of time, so we can see your reaction.
Oh, that day. No, I'm open to that.
I love B-side news.
We'll just
Get
be
out
like,
of here.
Yeah, and they might just go.
They're like,
Sean and Kevin are sitting there like, this was a big announcement. We're like,
guys, this is really cool.
Well, it's. I'm glad that you think it's cool. I really am. Yeah.
See, that's the difference. Me, I'll try to tap dance around and be like, oh yeah, actually, I thought that was pretty cool. It'd be interesting to do this. Ethan Dog's like, why are you wasting everybody's time?
Yeah, get to the point.
All right, Ethan Dog, tell the people what they should get from the show, and then I'm gonna head us out of here.
We got everything that was in the Kickstarter will be available while supplies last. The limited editions are very limited, so some of that stuff could sell out at GenCon. the new Yinslot Jungles is awesome. If they haven't gotten Manhunters, I need to get it.
Yeah, Manhunters is awesome.
Something I think that's kind of flew under the radar was for those looking for first edition type things, we did a foil cover version of the original Beyond the Supernatural.
And played Fantasy Precision.
Yeah, fantasy's selling like crazy. I'm honestly, I'm a little surprised by that, but
our Discord loves first edition Palladium Fantasy.
Yeah, and our sales show it. And then just keep the faith. If you're coming to GenCon, seriously, stop by and say hi. We're happy to sign autographs. Have a good time, have a safe trip. And those of you who can't make it, game on, man. Unleash those imaginations. I don't care what Heathen Dog says.
Keep your imagination to yourself, touchy-feely boy.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. Once again, thank Sean and Kevin for being here. You can really thank them by going to palladiumstore.com and buying a thing or two. For the two folks who owe me email addresses, hopefully you can send those to me on Discord. Again, I generally know who you guys are, or I wrote down your names. I know who you are. We can talk on a Friday or something. Maybe I'll bring you in a stream or whatever. You can send it in private chat here. But either way, I want to make sure you do get your $25 gift certificates to the Palladium Store. And with that, I want to thank everybody. Have a great weekend. And next week, we'll be back on schedule talking about Mutant Elysium. And Heathen Dog, do you have idea what you're talking about next week yet?
Yeah, I'm talking about nothing because I'm not going to be here.
Oh, that's right. Next week is the week you're not here. This is all about
vacation.
me.
Instead of going to GenCon, I'd have to meet Sean and shake his oily hand, whatever. No, instead
I want to shake your hand.
No, there you go. No, he'd smack me in the head with a baseball bat. That's what that is. Instead, I'm going to Louisiana in August because I'm stupid.
Talking about oily hands.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, everybody. You have a great week.